In this video, we will learn about grouping materials on the basis of solubility. Now, what does solubility mean? So, if a substance is able to dissolve in water completely, that means if I put sugar in water, it will completely disappear. That is termed as dissolve, and that ability is known as solubility. And we know that a large number of materials can dissolve in water, but not all materials can be dissolved in water. For example, wood, stone, etc. will not dissolve. So the property of dissolving in water is termed as solubility, and we can group materials on the basis of their solubility into two groups. One is the materials which dissolve in water are called as soluble materials. Even gas can dissolve in water, example oxygen, carbon dioxide, etc. And this is how aquatic organism will be able to survive, because oxygen is present even in water in a dissolved form. Now the second group is materials which do not dissolve in water are termed as insoluble materials, example nitrogen. Now let us understand the solubility property with the help of a simple activity. The aim of this experiment is to group objects on the basis of their solubility in water. Now the materials required are sugar, chalk powder, baking powder, talcum powder, vinegar, mustard oil, corn flour, milk, wax, turmeric powder, coconut oil, lemon juice and honey. Now procedure is simple. Since we are seeing the solubility property, we have to add small amount of each of these material into a glass tumbler which is half filled with water. Now after that we have to stir them well and wait for few minutes or seconds to identify whether the material is insoluble or soluble in water. For example, if I take a simple example of baking powder. Baking powder is readily available in everybody's house. So if I put it in water and observe, it will be soluble in water. But on the other hand, if I put a oil like mustard oil, this mustard oil will form a different or separate layer. So we can tell it is insoluble in water. It will not dissolve. It forms a layer above the water. Similarly, if I take lemon juice will be readily dissolvable in water. So we can tell it as soluble. And wax is insoluble in water. So like this we can group all the above mentioned materials into two groups. Now there are some objects which are dissolvable and which are not. Now what we have to do? Observe this and group the materials into the respective category and write them in the table. Now what is the conclusion? Conclusion is simple. Some materials are soluble in water while some are insoluble. Now there are some gases which are soluble in water as mentioned earlier, whereas others are insoluble in water as well. Now take some liquids also. They also show similar property. Like we'll take two different mixtures or fluids that can be put in water. One, let's take it as lemon juice. The other one will be the coconut oil. Now, if I take these two materials, do they mix completely in water? Now we can see that lemon juice is readily dissolvable. So the liquids that are dissolvable in water, so the liquids which mix with each other like water and lemon juice are called as miscible solvents or the liquids. Now coconut oil forms a layer above the water. So if I take a tumbler of water and if I pour coconut oil on it, so coconut oil forms a layer above water. It will never get dissolved. Now these liquids which do not mix with each other are termed as immiscible. I hope this topic is clear to you. Thank you.